Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Sam. Recently, I've been kind of like a pessimist about the future of the iPhone because looking at the 2019 iPhones, the ones that are due out in just a couple months, I'm genuinely not that impressed. They have a third camera on the back, but the notch is the same size, the screen sizes are the same, there's no big screen upgrades, the battery life is getting marginally better, and they look identical to every other iPhone for the past few years. So I just haven't been super excited to talk about iPhone rumors for this year. But today we got a rumor that I have personally been looking forward to hearing for the better part of 2 or 3 years, and I think it just seals the deal for how good the 2020 iPhones are going to be and why you should probably be waiting for those. I usually don't tell people not to upgrade to this year's iPhone if they are ready, but I just don't think that there's enough this year. Let me tell you guys what to expect for the 2020 iPhones because already the feature list is incredibly impressive and very exciting. If you're excited for that, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more. Let's go ahead and get started with the 2020 iPhone. So up first, the iPhone screen is basically going to look twice as good as it does now. Not through like OLED or micro LED or like a new baseline screen tech, but through improving the refresh rate and essentially doubling it. So this comes courtesy of a leaker with an incredibly good track record, knows a lot about Samsung, but shares an Apple tidbit from time to time. The leaker said Apple is experimenting with a 60 or 120 hertz display, like variable refresh rate setup, which means that how your iPhone looks now? Well, actually, let me show you guys an example. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal that it just is twice as smooth, but use any of the newer iPad Pros past 2017 in person in an Apple store. Try one out. I've been talking about this feature for years because it is so good. Or I can just show you guys here on YouTube the best comparison that I can give you. Here's an iPhone screen, and then here's an iPad screen with ProMotion. So ProMotion is 120 hertz. Your standard iPhone display is 60 hertz, as it has been pretty much forever. And as you can see, when I slow it down just a little bit, and even more dramatically when I slow it down further, the screen looks still very, very smooth on the iPad, where it gets noticeably choppy on the iPhone. And the reason this looks so good is because your iPhone screen is refreshing at half the rate of this iPad Pro. And now that Apple is said to be in talks, finally looking to add this as a feature of the iPhone, the only downside is that really it can be a bit of a battery hog. So I think that if we do see this, 120 hertz display, which I think we need, I think the iPhone needs some sort of innovation other than just a redesign or just a third camera. If you hand somebody your phone with that feature turned on, they're instantly going to say, whoa, I've never seen this on a phone before. This is absolutely amazing, and I need to get my hands on this now. It's going to be a feature that is going to make people want to upgrade versus something a little bit more gimmicky like a third camera lens, essentially doing the same thing but a third time. It's a feature like this that gets me excited about the 2020 iPhone. So in conjunction with a new screen, we've also been hearing that the design is going to be a little bit different. There's been, a trillion concepts. You even got this one behind me with just a little hole cut out at the very top. I don't think that Apple is going to cut back that dramatically because while another well-respected Apple analyst, Min Chi Ko, says the notch is going to be getting smaller and could possibly go away entirely, it's very likely that, the front of the 2020 iPhone with the ProMotion display is going to look like this. This is actually what we thought could have been one of the 2019 iPhone models, but I believe that this is something, remotely similar to what we're going to see with the 2020 iPhones, with a, slightly thinner bezels on the left and right sides, and then a smaller notch to make the phone look futuristic and not just do the same thing over and over again. But Apple's not stopping there in 2020. They're also working on some new AR features for the camera and also a completely fresh time of flight sensor that could give you a much better depth map on portrait mode, help your camera basically understand the world around you better than it ever has. So time of flight going to help with AR, but also help the camera understand how far away it is from objects. And with that, Apple's working on some really cool stuff. I don't remember if it was for this year's or next year's iPhones, but potentially if somebody was cut out of a photo, you'll be able to stitch them back in there in post because the camera was able to capture where they were more accurately. It's some really crazy stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, out of this entire list, there's one rumor that I just can't really fully understand yet or believe because, there's not a huge chance that it's going to happen, but there are a few sources that have now sprinkled some tidbits about Touch ID coming back to the iPhone. And I don't know how or why, because Apple's invested so far into Face ID, but I'm down. I'm ready to see more or futuristic forms of facial recognition, or in this case, fingerprint recognition. A lot of manufacturers tried like the facial scanning, and nobody really, other than Apple, has gotten it super right to the point where it is extremely secure, if not more so than a fingerprint sensor. But on at least one 2020 iPhone model, Touch ID could be coming back. And because it's going to be in screen, you're literally going to be able to take your fingerprint and just like do this to the screen, which is awesome. And I think that's going to be a great implementation if Apple can figure it out. I would like a hybrid of like Face ID and Touch ID. Maybe if you wanted to be super secure, you could set up your face, scan that, and then also do like a two-factor form of authentication by actually scanning your fingerprint. I mean, that would make it pretty much impossible for anybody other than you in any case to gain entry to your phone. And to wrap up this list, 5G support is coming to the iPhone next year. Now, 5G is that new crazy form of wireless broadband where it's going to be, I think, up to, I've read 100 times faster than 4G, which is just a mind-numbing number. It's a mind-numbing number. But a lot of carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, they're all rushing to get 5G out. And it's like this weird worldwide race thing to see who can do it right first. So for consumers, it's going to be a huge win because the connectivity and the speed of our devices through cellular connectivity could actually be faster than Wi-Fi for the first time ever. So all things considered, guys, you can probably see why this year's iPhones are confusing for me, why I don't exactly get what they're trying to do. I mean, the 2020 iPhone sounds like the iPhone we've been waiting for, like the next iPhone 10, the next one that's, more significantly different than not. So I want to hear your thoughts. Promotion display, yes or no? What do you guys think? What do you think about the new time of flight sensor? Are you going to be waiting, or are you planning actually to upgrade this year? Or are you jumping ship? Are you bored of the iPhone and you're hopping to Android? Any of those answers are fine, so let me know down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, hit subscribe for more. I've been Sam, hope you're doing well. I'll talk to all of you in my next video.